Good morning and welcome to Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening Sunday morning service. We're so glad that you're here, where we believe in just showing up and showing up as the love. Join us in that, would you? Show up and be love. Be the smile you're dreaming of. We're here to give and receive love. Won't you show up and be love? Be that heart you're dreaming of. We are here to be loved. Wherever you're from, you are, oh, you're welcome here. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, you are loved and wanted here. So show up and be loved. Be the smile you're dreaming of. We're here to give and receive love. Won't you show up and be loved? That heart you're dreaming of, we're here to be loved. Many rivers, just one well, all unique expressions of life. When one is silenced, I'll be your voice. I will stand beside you for what's right. So show up and be loved. Be the smile you're dreaming of. We're here to give and receive love. Won't you show up and be loved? Be that heart you're dreaming of. We are here to be loved. Gotta be it if you wanna see it. All that love you're craving in the world. We're the ones to make the difference. We're the ones that we've been waiting for. So show up and be loved. Be the smile you're dreaming of. We're here to give and receive love. Won't you show up and be loved? Be that heart you're dreaming of. We are here to be loved. Yes, we are here to be loved. We are here to be loved. So thank you for showing up as that love this morning. Thank you for showing up in person last week as that love. What a treat. We had two services last week, the online service at 11 and an in-person service in Charlotte at 10 a.m. So we will do that again at the end of June. We're looking forward to it. It's a good thing to be able to see one another again in person. So, but it's also a good thing to be able to tune in. It's a great thing to be able to tune in from wherever we are. And we're so excited that we have members and friends now watching from all over the globe. So wherever you are, we mean that. You are welcome here. And we're so glad that you're with us. So let's just breathe into the love. Let's just breathe into the space of awareness. Relaxed, mindful awareness. I'm going to share in just a little while a little bit from an article written by a neuroscientist talking about how moments of relaxed, mindful awareness sprinkled throughout your day can turn stress and anxiety into peace and calm and worry into confidence. Sounds good. So let's do that together for a moment right now. Just breathing into the present moment. Breathing in, being fully present with our breath. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am. Oh, Shalom, Shanti, Salam, peace. Shalom, Shanti, Salam, peace. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am. So I breathe into the stillness, allowing myself to be perfectly at peace by focusing on the in-breath, pausing, and then focusing on the exhale. Being perfectly present, honoring any thoughts or any feelings or any sensations in the body. Just being present. And so I speak this affirmative word in this present moment awareness because I recognize that there's one power, one presence, one intelligence, one divine love. And this source of all life moves through everything. It moves through me right here, right now. It moves through each and every one of you. It is the life force. This divine intelligence that created all is moving through me now. I breathe into the peace and the awareness of that. And I recognize and I claim my unity with all life, my unity with the source of all life and all of its creation. I am one, inseparable from life itself. And so as I speak my word from unity, from awareness, it is easy for me to claim divine right action for my life. It is easy for me to claim and know that I am in the flow of my good. It is easy for me to claim and know that Carolina's Center for Spiritual Awakening is in the flow of its good, and that goes for all of our members and all of our friends, that we are each living and breathing and moving in this expression, this experience of life. So I choose an experience of it that is free, that is fun and joy-filled and peace-filled and on purpose. And so I claim for us this morning, each of us, that we are open to have a new awareness of life sink in and take root within us. I claim for us an open mind and an open heart and a willingness to be both blessed and a blessing. Thank you, God. Knowing that it is all God by the many names, I give great thanks as I chant La ilaha illallah. I remind myself of the meaning. There's only God. La ilaha, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. feeling of oneness, the feeling of wholeness to permeate my being. I rest. I rest. I rest in this awareness and allow it to seep into every cell, awakening, enlivening, enriching my life from the inside out. And so I rest in this awareness of wholeness and oneness. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Hello, my CCSA family. This is Annie Lewis with today's reading from Science of the Mind magazine. It's entitled Time to Get In, and it begins with a couple of quotes. The first is, "Whenever man recognizes his oneness with the divine nature and expresses it, you get a spiritual expression which is far in advance of the purely material." And that's Jerome Holmes from Self-Measure. The next is, "You and God are totality. Too long you may have lived by proxy. Too long you may have had to listen to what the eternal has done for someone else. What is the eternal doing for you?" And that's Ernest Holmes from The Larger Life. Here's the reading. Preparing for the big game is not the same as playing in the game. Preparation is important, but being in the action is what it's about. Getting ready to live is not the same as living. Your education, secular and spiritual, is invaluable. But what is it for? You've got to get out and audaciously do what you came into this world to do. What have you been putting off? Postponing life for the future is not what you are here to do. Design your world now. Why defer happiness for a future date when you can live it now? Now is the only time when the miracles of life can happen. Some of the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Your success is waiting for you, right where preparation and action meet. And today's affirmation is, I boldly get up and get in my game of life. I'm going to do that again. I boldly get up and get in my game of life. Have fun getting out there and getting in your game of life. Love you.
The science of mind can be described as a practical, spiritual optimism. It is spiritual as it looks beyond circumstances to a realization of the universal principles of the one spiritual presence that is the source of all. It is optimistic as it is a realization that life is good, it is for us, and that as we live more from the wholeness of life, the more we experience life's goodness. It is practical as it uses an understanding of the creative nature of thought to bring about real and measurable changes for good into our life experience. And one place that I've used this is to bring about more harmony in my workplace. I can start with an affirmation of peace and harmony for myself, accept this idea, and not think about disharmonious ideas. And this may or may not be enough to get the results that I want. And so I may choose to go a bit deeper with a spiritual optimism. That is to just let go of the temporary circumstances and any ideas associated with them, such as, if everyone would just agree with me, we'd get along fine. Let it go. And in its place, to see us as we really are. That I am a spiritual being. I am made out of living creative energy that expresses into this physical form. And all of my coworkers are exactly the same. We are connected, and we are some part of that infinite spiritual presence that is all life, intelligence, creativity, that expresses from a point of infinite perfection into all that is. Knowing that peace and harmony is a fundamental quality of reality itself. And so I can see the good that I desire, not so much as something that I'm pushing or pulling into my circumstance, but to see it more from the wholeness of life as a fundamental quality of reality, to allow an awakening of harmony and peace to flow through me and as me and transform my sense of being at a deep level. And know that this idea also resonates with all of my fellow co-workers who, like me, are spiritual beings. And that with some persistence, I can get the results that I desire. The science of mind. It can be described as a practical spiritual optimism. Try it. It's fun. You'll like it. And so it is.
So good morning once again, dreamers and movers and shakers and dream makers, as Bob Simon would say. That's what we are. You know, new thought, science of mind and unity and other schools of thought that are life-affirming and limitless in our ability to live an amazing life and create a world that works for everyone. We attract dreamers. We attract those who have heard things like this all their lives. I know I have. Things like, come on, get real. Could you just be realistic? That's not practical. Sound familiar? Well, if somebody wants me to be practical, okay, that's great. Let's do that. Because this is a practical, as Reverend Ned said, a practical spiritual optimism. The science of mind teaching is very practical. It is scientific. It is scientific. It's not a daydream. To live in the imagination and live in the creative process is not daydreaming. Dr. Ernest Holmes, who founded the science of mind, said, imagination is not fanciful daydreaming. It's the fire from heaven. It's that fire, that passion, that spark. It's that spark. It's that, that impulse of life moving through us. So the key is to not get lost in our history. To not get lost in our history, in other words, where we've been up until now, but rather to be fueled by our destiny and to understand that our destiny is not something that you don't have any control over. To the contrary, our destiny is wholeness. That the Tao Te Ching says that life is a movement toward our wholeness. And I always say a movement toward the realization that it's already there, that wholeness, right? So our destiny is having that opportunity continually before us to unlearn the ideas of separation from source, unlearn the brokenness ideas that we're broken, that we're damaged, there's something wrong with us, innately wrong with us, right? To unlearn that and to unlearn limiting ideas of a limited God that is a punishing person up on a cloud ready to throw lightning bolts at you. So not getting lost in our history the way we've always thought, the way our families thought, the way their families before them, right? But to instead be fueled by our destiny of the truth of our oneness and our wholeness, to let that fanciful daydreaming happen, understanding it's the fire from heaven. Because otherwise, we just run around recreating, repeating our lives, living the same life over and over. Living the same life. I'm going to share a song with you that I wrote shortly called Free to Be. And there's a line in there that says, are you going to live the same life over every day? Right? If you want something to be different, you have to change it. And we get to do that. We get to do that because life will just keep showing up to match what you are, who you are, how you are, the subconscious programming that you have. So the cool part, the exciting part is that we get to reprogram ourselves. If we continually are having experiences of financial lack or disharmony in relationships or a physical challenge, then we get the opportunity to reprogram and step into alignment with a greater good. And we do that not by shaming ourselves for ever having those experiences of lack or pain or anything like that. Of course not. But we do it from understanding that life can always improve. Life can always get better because it is a limitless fountain of good that's flowing through us, this divine source. Albert Einstein said this: the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Have you forgotten the gift? And are you being faithful instead to the got to be practical? I got to make sure that I'm taking care, being safe, and everything is planned out. And Course in Miracles says how's it go? A healed mind doesn't plan. There we go. I try to remember that when I get into my type A personality of laying out all the plans. There's a balance there. Yes, of course, we have ideas, and it's good to have plans and intentions. But the trick is to not be consumed by them and absorbed into the planning of a thing instead of giving the universe room to move. That's another talk altogether, but it's a good one. Anyway, so the subconscious, it does tie into this, though, because the subconscious and what is coming out from us, we want to honor that and reprogram accordingly, because we get to do that. We get to reprogram accordingly. And the cool thing also is that as we do that for our individual lives, it rubs off on those around us. So, let's look at some ways to do that. Now, I've talked about this a lot in, oh goodness, y'all know my cat was just visiting me, so sorry. Let's talk about some ways to do that. Some ways to do that. It was Thomas Edison that said, never go to sleep without a request of your subconscious. So let's start with that way to do this changing of the subconscious. Never go to sleep without a request to your subconscious. So just as you're falling to sleep, you are about to enter into the most magical, precious, co-creative time, and that is the theta brainwaves, which is how you get straight into the subconscious. So I'm encouraging everyone in class and everyone I talk to, my coaching clients, everyone, I always encourage them to pay attention to what you take into your subconscious as you are falling asleep in those theta waves and as you're waking up. So I talk about this a lot, and I see people go, oh, good idea. But it occurred to me this morning that maybe maybe I need to give you more examples, like exactly how to do this. So this is an example of what I do when I'm falling asleep or right as I'm starting to wake up before I go, oh, what time is it? Let me look at the phone. What do I have to do? Where do I have to be? Before I do any of that, you've heard me say that I do my affirmative prayers, but I do, before I even get into that, I start to affirm I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm flexible, I'm happy, I'm filled with joy, and my life is joy-filled. I communicate with love, and only love returns to me. I live in the flow of opulent abundance, and I move freely in this material world as the power of love in action. My life is fun, peaceful, joy-filled, and meaningful. Those are just some examples. And it's not about having a script that you read as much as it is being in the flow of affirmative thought. Being in that, just immersing yourself in that as you are about to fall off to sleep and as you are about to wake up. And then being present. So I thought of 3 things to kind of drive this home today. Affirm, weed, treat. So that's the affirm part. And then being present for the weeding part. Because what will happen sometimes, especially if you're stressed or you got a lot on your plate or you're particularly worried about a certain situation, then some things will start to bubble to the surface that's contrary to all that good stuff you just affirmed. Instead of going, no, I can't think about that. Let it bubble up. So what? Look at it so you can weed it out. The weeds don't get out of the garden because we go, oh, I don't want the weed there. No, the weed gets out of the garden because you reach over and you pull it out. So let it bubble up. Look at it and say, no, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. Weed it out. And then go back and affirm again. I live in the opulent flow of good. I move freely in this material universe. My life is a blessing and I am blessed. Anything you can come up with, just keep going, right? As you're falling into those theta waves, as you're falling into sleep and as you're waking up to start your day. And then the third thing, you move into that affirmative prayer, the treatment. And I can't say enough how important it is to spend so much time in those first and second steps of treatment where we recognize the allness, the oneness, the goodness of the divine creator. There's one power and one presence. It is God, the good by many names. It's moving through everything. It's fully present right here, right now. I feel it in the wind on my face. I feel it if I'm outside. I feel it. I hear it in the bird's song. I know it to be the truth of all life, that this one love and this one presence is everywhere present. Things like that. Spend time in that first step, which makes it a perfect segue into the second step. And therefore, I know that I am one with this eternal presence for good. I am one with this creative presence, this power, this source of all life. And then go back to your affirming and then sit in present, relaxed, mindful awareness. Relaxed, mindful awareness, sitting still in it. Anything comes back up, weed it out. And you continue the process until you are in the energy. You're feeling it. And you're tapped into the imagination of what that looks like. What does it look like if that's really true? If that's really true that I'm healthy and strong and flexible, what does that look like? What does it feel like? And before you even get out of bed or before you even fall asleep, you tap into the feeling because you have an imagination that is so precious and so amazing and so powerful. You tap into and allow the feeling, because remember, the body doesn't know the difference between a real and an imagined event. So you tap into that feeling of flexible, strong, happy, healthy body. You tap into that feeling of, oh yeah, it feels good when I have loving, respectful, nourishing relationships. Oh, it feels good when I am not worried about money at the grocery store. It feels good when I'm not worried about paying a bill. It feels good to have more than enough to give away, to save, to tithe, to invest, right? Tap into that feeling, not just the words, but the feeling. That's the practical piece. Going back to Reverend Ned, practical. Practical is actually something that you apply. It's not a theory. And we're talking about a teaching here that is practical optimism. It's something that we apply. It's not just a theory. And it's optimistic because we're in that confidence of a successful outcome. And it's, spiritual, to go ahead with Ned's practical spiritual optimism. It's spiritual because it's moving beyond anything in the land of effect that could look contrary. And say, no, that's not the truth of me. and going right back to the beginning. Doing this as you start to fall asleep and as you wake up in the morning is so powerful. And then there's one more thing that I wanted to give you as a tool today. And that is from the Science of Mind magazine, an article by Dr. Mark Waldman. And he says this: moments during the day. This is something you do throughout your day. He says, our brain scan research shows that if you make a practice of maintaining brief moments of relaxed, mindful awareness throughout the day, this may be the easiest and most effective way to manipulate the activity in your own brain networks. To manipulate the activity in your brain networks, to turn anxiety into confidence, stress into serenity, and consciousness into a mystical, enlightening experience. Sound good? Right? So again, I don't want to just tell you to be relaxed and be mindful during the day. Let's talk about some real life examples. Pardon me. One really good one that most people have an opportunity to do at least 3 times a day, and that is to eat consciously. And when I say eat consciously, I mean, you could take the raisin and chew it for 30 minutes like the Buddhist monk might tell you to do to experience mindfulness. But which is awesome, by the way. If you've never done that, I encourage it, to chew on one grape for 30 minutes and really feel it. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about practical, right? Something you can do all the time and not just set aside 30 minutes for a raisin, which is, again, great. But I'm talking about practical. So every single meal, try it. Just try it for one day, and then try it for another day, and then try it as an everyday. But what I mean by conscious eating is to really fully, first of all, be in gratitude before you take one bite. Say thank you. I love my dear friend Eddie Watkins Jr. He stays with me when he comes through town sometimes, which I'm looking forward to that happening again. But he always, every single time he sits down at the table, he has a chant that says, thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything. And that's as simple and as powerful as it is. And he sings that every single time he sits down, or he'll say it at least, every single time he sits down at my table. And I love this man. That's such a reminder to be in gratitude. And so speak a word of gratitude, however, whether you're praying or whether you're just saying, I'm grateful for this food, I'm grateful for this moment. But then take it a step further as you're eating. Think about the fact that somebody planted the seed that became the tomato plant. Somebody picked those tomatoes. Somebody took them to the store. Somebody turned them into whatever you're eating, salsa or sauce or a tomato sandwich or whatever it is. Somebody turned that into something. All of the steps that it took. And as you're eating, being grateful for each and every piece of it, each and every piece of the process of that particular piece of food. And grateful for your body. It's a miracle. It's amazing, these bodies of ours. The stuff that goes on in there that we don't even have to think about is a bit mind-blowing if you really stop and look at it. All of the ways that our body breaks down food to use it as fuel and to bring it in so that we can have these little vessels running around for our souls. It's a pretty awesome thing. So your charge is to eat consciously just for a week. Let's just try it for a week. I said a day, but come on, you can do more than a day. Every meal, to sit down and to eat consciously. There's a wonderful little prayer that my dear friend and mentor, Dr. James Golden, used to always say, and I can't remember where he got it from to give credit where credit's due, but I've amended it a bit, but it's something to the effect of, we give thanks for this food that is a gift from the entire universe. We eat mindfully and gratefully. Mindfully and gratefully, knowing that each piece of this food is a gift from the entire universe. So there's one example of how to actually practically practice, right? How to practice this. Another example, maybe it's treating in traffic. Instead of moving into this place of, oh man, people down here don't know how to drive, or people up here don't know how to drive, depending on where you're from, or maybe you're from here. People from here don't know how to drive. Instead of moving into this road rage or into this angst in the car, try treating while you're driving. Don't close your eyes, though. That's not good. But try treating while you're driving. I recognize that the divine is moving through every single car around me. I feel the bubble of safety around my vehicle. I know that I'm safe and on time. And I speak this word, recognizing that I flow with this traffic pattern easily and efficiently, right? Because we are sending out a vibration with every thought and every feeling. We're sending it out. And when you're in a traffic experience, makes me think of that James Taylor song, "Whoa, this traffic jam." hurts my something to go so slow. Anyway, when we get everyone in an angst, it just makes it worse. Have you ever been in traffic and you're just on the verge of getting a little irritated and you look over and somebody's like, la la, they're singing and they're smiling? You could be that person that shifts the entire route of Highway 77 or whatever. So try treating in traffic. Say a third one. Oh, here's one that's going to push your intimacy alert might go off. Push through, breathe through this moment. Find someone you love and take 2 minutes. Like I'm literally saying, set a timer for 2 minutes and look in the eyes of your partner, your child. Okay, if you have to start with your dog, okay, but move up to a person if you would. So take 2 minutes and look into the eyes of a person that you love and tell them the things you're grateful for about them. Not only does it improve your relationship, but it takes you into this relaxed, mindful awareness. You're being fully present with this person that you love, and you're focusing on the love. So there's 3 examples of relaxed, mindful awareness, practical examples. Another one that I just can't say enough about is the heart-brain coherence meditation that I've taught you many times, where you place your hand on your heart and you slow your breathing intentionally and you tap into those feelings of love, compassion, and kindness and thanksgiving. And in just 5 minutes, you shift the chemical makeup of your body. The chemistry inside your body is completely different in just 5 minutes of doing this specific type of meditation. That is another example of relaxed mindful awareness, something you can do to be in this mindful awareness state. You could do something as simple as being present with a flower, looking at the dewdrops, looking at the inchworm or the ladybug crawling across it. Being with what's in front of you is relaxed mindful awareness. And if you have judgments come in, allow them, whether you have your eyes open or closed in meditation. When you're practicing this, if you have a judgment or a thought or a worry, just for that moment, suspend it. Suspend the attention you give it and allow it to just walk right through the room of your mind. As if the front door is here and the back door is there, and you sit and you see it enter and you see it walk across and leave. And it doesn't stay because you're not saying you shouldn't be here, because what we resist persists, right? So you're not judging it. You're just being. When we can learn to just be, this practical optimism becomes so much more powerful and so much easier, and we are able to not be lost in our history, but fueled by our destiny, our knowing that we are whole, perfect, and complete. We are no longer living in that place. We've unlearned those places that we believed in brokenness. We've unlearned those parts of us that believed in a punishing, fearful, angry God. We've unlearned all that, and we can be free of that history and fueled by the destiny, the truth of our oneness, our wholeness, our goodness. Come on, be practical. Okay. I'm being practical every day. I am practicing this beautiful, scientifically proven way to live that is living in harmony with the spiritual laws that govern the universe. And with that, there's so much amazingness that we can do. Thank you for joining me. How much of life is wasted on the waiting? How much of life is wasted on the waiting? Waiting to be thin, to be rich, to be famous, to be young again. What if right now you believed your life was just right? Then could you let yourself sleep at night? What if right now was perfect? Could you see then that now is your win? think it's time you set yourself free? Your history's not your best story, so make a new plan and set yourself free. Your ropes are not tied down, you are unbound. Your ropes are not tied down, you are unbound. Your shackles are unlocked, you hold your prison's key. You're free to be. Are you gonna live the same life over every day? Are you gonna repeat your past every day? If you're not where you wanna be, why do you stay? Choose a new way. Don't you think it's time you set yourself free? Your history's not your best story, so make a new plan and set yourself free. Based on the past doesn't ask anything. You don't have to risk, grow, or change to stay the same. No one's holding you back but you. What do you want? What will you choose? What's it gonna be? Don't look at me. Don't you think it's time you set yourself free? History's not your best story, so make a new plan. Your history's not your best story, so make a new plan. Your history's not your best story, so make a new plan and set yourself free. You're free to be. You're free to be. You're free to be. Kids, we see you, we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way that you are. Divine love moving through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. And so let's just breathe into the energy of gratitude together. And first of all, I just want to take a breath of gratitude and thank personally each and every one of you that continue to support Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening in the world and the work that we're doing in the world. We are so grateful by your presence. We're so grateful by your financial contributions. We're so grateful by means of you. So thank you. Let's breathe into that gratitude. I breathe in to gratitude. I breathe into this moment. And I say, thank you, God, for the good in my life. Thank you, God, for the love in my life. Blessings of life. I breathe in to gratitude. I breathe in to thank you. Thank you. Right here, right now, in the energy of gratitude, I speak this word of blessing, knowing that Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening is indeed blessed, that we are blessed to overflowing as a spiritual community, doing good work in the world. And I know that for us as an organization, and I know it for us as individuals. I know for each and every person giving a financial gift this morning that it returns multiplied to overflowing. Because I believe that as we give, we receive. So as I speak this word, I claim for each of us to be open to both the giving and the receiving, to be that inlet and that outlet for the divine. And so I say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. We are so blessed. And I say, thank you, God, for the good in my life. Thank you, God, for the love in my life. Thank you, God, for the breath of this life. I breathe in to gratitude. I breathe in to thank you. Thank you. So grateful for each and every one of you. Grateful also for another opportunity to see your smiling faces in addition to the online services, the in-person service that we're going to have again in June. We're going to have a concert. I'm going to offer a house concert. Jack and Donna Heil have been so kind as to open their home. Rochelle Coatney's going to join me on the drums. It's going to be a fun night. And spoiler alert, Brenda and Gina are also going to join me with harmony and bass. It's going to be a big fun time. So we do have, it's a first come first serve basis. So you do need to sign up with our hostess with the mostest. The information is in the newsletter. So make sure you sign up for our newsletter or get information on Facebook or our website. Awakening Carolina is the website. We have a Facebook group called Our CCSA Community, and we have a Facebook page for Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. Lots of ways to keep up with us. So thank you for joining us today. Please join me now, if you would, from wherever you are, and singing along and sending this love out into the world. We let the love wash over us. We just let it be. We let... Oh, wait, did I say when the concert was? I don't think I did. Memorial Day. So Memorial Day is the concert, and that will be at 4 p.m. at the home of Jack and Donna Heil. And it's a bring a picnic kind of situation. The date and time would be important. May 31st at 4 p.m. Okay, now join me in our closing song. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We love you, we bless you, and we thank you. Have a fantastic week.